be talking about the parallel realities of self. What I really want to talk about today is more of a spiritual, metaphysical conversation. We're talking about the mechanics of reality and how it actually works to manifest and to create a reality. We are made by a creator and we are a creator ourselves, right? We come from creation, we are part of creation, and something that is endowed in us as a part of creation is the ability to also create. But there's not a strong push for creativity. Creativity is considered to be something, you do in your free time when you have fun. Most of us have not been encouraged to follow our creative ability, but rather we've been encouraged to follow some prescribed path of success, which in our world equates to survival. Success, in the way most people think about it, is not like ultimate success, like living a really fulfilled life. Again, I think it's changing into that more and more as we evolve. We are in the most enlightened stage of human evolution right now that we've ever been all throughout human history. And I know you look around the world, you see how fucked up it is and human trafficking and all this stuff going on. You go, how could we possibly be in the most enlightened stage in all of human history? You really need to be connected to and understand the dark history that we come from as human beings so you can understand where you are in the universe right now and who you are. You have been taught that you do not have creative power. And you have been taught that the results of your life are not up to the power that lives inside of you, but rather it's up to the things that are happening around you. And that you are a victim of circumstance, that your life results are conditional on the circumstances that surround you. Nothing could be less true. When you buy into it and your whole country and your whole culture buys into it, it becomes the reality. But you've got to understand, it only became the reality as a result of your creative ability and the collective creative ability of all the people around you co-creating that reality. So even when it seems like you're a victim of circumstance, even when it seems like you're powerless, even when it seems like your life is not under your control, you've created that. I want you to think about it like this. It may seem like, how could that possibly be true? This seems so far out there. It seems like a science fiction book. Like, are you actually telling me these things? What I came to understand is it only sounded that way because of the view of reality that I had been sold since the time I was born. You see, I had been raised in a world that conditioned me to have a certain view of reality. And because I had that conditioned view of reality, when people started telling me how reality actually worked, it sounded crazy. If you can really start to change your personal view of reality, what becomes available to you in your life will also change. What if I were to say that life is just a dream? You go to sleep at night and you're dreaming, and then you wake up and you believe that your waking reality is somehow different from your dreaming reality. There's even sometimes continuity where you go to sleep and you wake up in the same dream that you had the night before and you continue living the life that you were living in that dream, right? That happens sometimes. What if we were just moving from one dream to another? Is that possible? Like, can you entertain that? Like, what if nothing was real? When you're dreaming, it seems that all the images in your dream are real, doesn't it? You believe it wholeheartedly. If there's a tiger chasing you in your dream, you wake up sweating. If your partner cheats on you in your dream, you wake up mad. It all feels real while it's happening. Well, what if all of life was like that? This wasn't the view of life that I was sold as a kid, and it wasn't the view of life that you were sold as a kid. But at some point, we've got to look around and go, this world is way too freaking crazy to be real. When you really start to question your reality and you really start to look around and go, what is really going on here? You see, so many of my questions about life were answered when I started entertaining life from this perspective. A question I always had, if God is real and God loves us, then why did he create such a fucked up world and drop me off in it and leave me alone to fend for myself? You imagine your parent dropping you off in this world and saying, figure it out with no help or no guidance. Like, that's not very loving, right? If it wouldn't be loving for our parents to do that, then how is it loving for God to do that? When I started to look at life through a different lens, and I started to look at life and say, what if we all exist in God's imagination? What if God is the big creator, the source, the thing that everything comes from, the essence, the primordial essence of life, whatever you want to call it, right? What if that's God? And then God is dreaming or imagining a universe in which all kinds of things are happening infinitely. I mean, things you can't even possibly imagine are happening in the universe right now. Things that we couldn't even wrap our mind around, things that we couldn't even conceive of are actual realities that beings are living in somewhere in the universe right now. We were one of the imagined things in God's imagination. But something that's really cool that comes with being a part of God's imagination is you get your own imagination. imagination. You get your own imagination, and you get to imagine things too. So in the same way that God is dreaming up this entire universe, imagining this entire universe with all these wild, crazy things happening, planets at war, planets at peace, people killing each other, people loving each other, and everything in between. And God is imagining all of it. And then here I am, this little guy, this little one person, standing in the middle of the universe somewhere on this little rock called Earth, made in the image and likeness of the Creator, right? That's a line we've heard a lot throughout our lives, that we're made in the image and the likeness of our Creator. Well, what does that mean? I think made in the image and likeness of our Creator means that we are endowed with the same power as our Creator. What does that mean? We have the ability to dream. We have the ability to imagine. We have the ability to form a picture in our minds and get connected to that picture on an emotional level and have that picture manifest as a physical reality. In the same way that God can dream up an entire universe, we within our circle of influence can dream up our own universe. From the time you're born, you are pure potential. Nothing is set. Now, I do think there's a such thing as karma. Karma is kind of like a curriculum. The major experiences you'll go through, like major heartbreaks or major losses in your life, these things can be like karma. We could say karma is kind of like a starting point. You're guaranteed to feel certain things. You're guaranteed to struggle with certain things. These are like the lessons or the curriculum that are shaping you into the person you need to be. Everything else is flexible. If you look at AI, it can actually give us a glimpse into how like the mind of God works. Because what AI could do, if you were to create a program in a computer like this, and you were to say, okay, here's this person being born into the world, these are the conditions of their mother, these are the conditions of their father, these are, say, 3 to 5 core experiences they're gonna go through in their life. And then you could tell AI, based on this starting set of conditions, tell me all the possible outcomes. And AI could literally sit there and calculate all the possible outcomes infinitely, right? God could definitely do it, right? Because AI is just like a little piece of God. There are billions and billions of variables, and your life could potentially work out to any one of those billions of variables. You could end up desperate and alone and sad and depressed and addicted to drugs or alcohol. You could end up in a deeply loving and passionate, committed relationship. It could be anything. But out of all these potentials, you're only going to experience one of these realities. What is the factor that determines which one you'll experience? The thing that determines which one you'll experience is the dominant vibrational frequency that you carry throughout your life. Each one of these potential realities, they're all parallel realities, they all exist, they're all real, they all have a frequency, a very specific frequency. Every possible way your life could work out has a vibrational, energetic signature that's tied to it. When you imagine a certain reality, there is actually an energetic signature that is tied to that reality. When your core vibration, when every aspect of your being, when every cell of your body and your consciousness is vibrating at the frequency of love, that is when every aspect outside of you will reflect love. So your intimate partnership will be a reflection of love. Your friendships will be a reflection of love. Your family relationships will be a reflection of love. This is the way God set it up when He created the universe. Every single vibrational frequency has a corresponding emotion and a corresponding worldview. What does that mean? It means that when you are living at that frequency, when you are embodied in that frequency, there is only one way you can feel and only one perspective through which you can see the world. Now, if you want to feel differently, you need to change your vibrational state. It might seem very far away right now. It might seem like it's hopeless. It might seem impossible. It's already a reality. If that wasn't a real potential for you, you could not even imagine. That reality, when you imagine it, it has a vibrational signature to it. All you need to do is just connect to that vibrational signature. Get informed by it. Start to feel the same vibration when you paint that picture in your mind. The moment you feel that, you are matching that vibration. And all you need to do is practice that. Practice getting into that vibrational state every day. Thank you for being with me today. Sending you so much love wherever you are. And I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Take care.